if you're having a hard time decluttering, remember this, that if you haven't used it, chances are you're not going to use it by storing it in a closet somewhere, unless it has a defined purpose, such as Christmas decorations, ornaments for that season, possibly party supplies if you host a lot, things like that. But if it's just random stuff that you're keeping just in case or something like that, that clutter turns into mental clutter, and it's so toxic for your body. It actually statistically makes you put on weight when you are surrounded by a lot of clutter. There's also quite a bit of time traded when you are going through stuff and you're deciding, do I keep this? Do I get rid of it? Like, just the process of decluttering and purging is a long process, because you're trading time to then decide what to keep and what to get rid of, and then what to put where and all of that stuff. And it becomes kind of a cycle. So the goal is, if you are bringing something in your house, then you got to let something go. It's like one in, one out type thing. So it doesn't just pile up and you're not just like shoving it in more and more in. You're letting things go as you're bringing things, you're letting things go as you're bringing things in. The other thing is, don't try to get more organizers for your stuff, just less stuff. And I just had this conversation with my girls yesterday. I said, because we just downsized, and we already got rid of a lot of stuff when we downsized. And I said, man, we either need more space or less stuff. And they both were like, oh, we just need less stuff. They totally get it. And so it's nice to have, you bring your family, your kids and stuff, like going through stuff and just helping what to let go of, what aren't you using. And they'll remind me, like, Mom, you've never worn that. You like it, but you never wear it. Or you bought that a long time ago, and it really doesn't look that good on you. So sometimes kids will be really honest, and they'll say, oh, that doesn't really look that good on you. And you're thinking, oh, I looked so fabulous in it. And they're like, no, it looks cheap. My girls are always like, they'll tell me the honest truth, just get rid of it. So it helps when you bring in honesty into the mix, so you can just knock it out and get things out. And then you realize, man, all this little stuff ends up building into a lot of stuff. It's the little things that grow into big things. Now, just because you might have the space doesn't mean you have to fill it. Start being okay with a little bit of empty space here and there. And I was just laughing because I saw this funny video of the guy who's like, this is a good box, I should keep this box, the parody video about keeping boxes, and oh, this is a great box and you might need it one day. And then I found myself doing the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of a good box, this is a white box, it's a good size. And they're like, what are you doing? We're talking about that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm doing the exact same thing. And it was so funny because we do things like that without realizing, like, this is a good gift bag. This tissue paper is still pretty good, and you start thinking, this bow that I've used on every Christmas that I peeled off, that I could tape back on, for a gift, it's still decent, still in good shape, or whatever, these bags or this box or these cords I might need. And it's like, just at some point you just got to be like, I want life, and I want life to the fullest, and I want simplicity. I don't want to spend 1 minute of my life, one more minute, engaging in, this. I want to free myself from it. And so I was thinking, okay, so we just spent 3 hours going through stuff. And I told my kids, I said, now think about it. What we could have done in those 3 hours, we could have done a lot more things than going through stuff to get rid of. And so it's really got to be a mindset shift. Some stuff you got rid of, your kids may have grown out of, or they don't play with that toy like they used to. Maybe there's different stages. So it's not like, that's different because seasons change. Maybe they're done reading those books, or they're done playing those games. They don't fit in those clothes anymore. The shoes are worn out or whatever. So you're letting that stuff go. But there's also the category of, how did we accumulate this stuff? Was it from an impulse? Was it just something that we bought it because it was on sale? Have I had it for a long time and didn't use it? Somebody gave it to me, and I feel guilty getting rid of it. So there's different categories kind of why we end up accumulating things. But as I'm going through this journey, and it kind of seems to be like a never-ending thing, because I like design and I love decorative things, and in Arizona it's really hot in the summertime, so we do a lot of stuff inside. So we buy games and books and different things, and you just rotate through. I always make sure when I get rid of stuff that it's going to a good place, like a family, a home. I'm not just donating it to Goodwill. The things that are really good quality, I make sure they go to a proper place and they're going to continue on their journey and really bless. And then it's helping me free up space, just have that little mental space as well, especially if you're not in a huge house and things can get cluttered quite easily. So it's just kind of a process of being mindful of what you bring in and what you let go of. So if you haven't used it or worn it in 6 months or a year, and it's not an in-season thing, like a specific thing, like to go skiing or to go to the beach or whatever, then let it go. If you've worn it all the time and it's like, okay, you've clearly worn this out and you need to select something else in your closet, that's a good sign to also let it go. So you can kind of move on from that season. I just got rid of a shirt that I actually wear. You probably see me, I wear all those same shirts on my walk and talk, and they're just getting worn out and they're getting used up, and I wear them every single day. And my girls were like, okay, maybe it's time for you to let go of this and wear something else. So letting that go. If it's something that you have and you just are like, hey, I like the look of it, but I don't like the look of it on me, or I like that thing, but I don't like it in my house, or whatever it is, it somehow triggers some unsatisfactory feeling, then let it go. Don't waste your time trying to justify why you should keep something or trying to find a spot for it. If you already know you're not going to wear it, you're not going to use it, you don't really even like it. So those are the kind of the key things, is how does that thing make you feel? Is it pulling you towards your highest self, your best self, making you feel good? Does it make you feel beautiful or motivated to, work out? Or is it a product that you really like? Or are you just like, I need to wear this out first to get my money's worth. I need to use all the cream in this jar to get my money's worth, even though it's 5 years old and there's still a little bit left. Just let it go and keep what you love. Use what you love. It's always better to have less of the good things. More of the good things and less of the lower things, because when you have the good things, you don't really need as much. It's like you may have one favorite perfume instead of 5 different ones. And actually perfume's pretty toxic. I do keep a bottle on hand just for certain occasions, but not an everyday use. But when we get into the habit of, I need to use up all of this eye cream, when it's really not working good on my eyes, but I need to use it just to get my money's worth, or just to feel like I can't throw away something good use. That's just kind of like a mental thing that you got to get over. It's hard. So anyways, we just spent the last 3 hours kind of going through stuff. I'm taking a break. My video yesterday got stuck. My phone overheated, and so the video shut off. So I guess that's just a reminder to keep these short and to the point, because I end up going all over the place. So thank you for tuning in. And if there's, if you're in this journey of simplifying your life, just keep going. Don't give up. Keep going and keep getting better. Keep adjusting as you go. Keep pivoting and just run your race.